Hi guys, in today's video we're going to be reviewing Darkstar's Molten Metals paints. And first of all I want to say a huge thank you to the guys over at Airbrushing.com who sent me these paints out for review. Please check the description box down below and you'll find a direct link to Airbrushing.com's web store where you can go and check these paints out for yourselves. So in the review today guys, what I'm going to be doing is placing each of the paints that I have in the range on a palette, and I'll be checking the consistency of the paint and the different colours from the range that I actually own. I'm also going to test them on some sprue to see how they paint with a brush, and then I'm going to thin them down and paint with an airbrush to see how they airbrush as well. So it's going to be a test with an airbrush and a regular brush as well, just to see how they paint there guys. So without further ado, I'm going to come back and we're going to see what they look like on a palette. Okay guys, so talking about the packaging first of all, well, we can see that they're in dropper bottles. Just unscrew the lid like so, you can see that they're in dropper bottles, which I absolutely love dropper bottles guys. Also they come with an agitator in the bottle, which is a nice addition to the bottle, as you can hear as I shake the paint like so. Right, this colour's pewter. I'm just going to get the palette into view and we'll try each colour one at a time. So first of all we're going to try pewter. Another cool thing about these dropper bottles, they're slightly different to Vallejo. They go like a thick tube towards the bottom and then it's thin towards the top, so you can really control how much paint comes out of these dropper bottles. As you could see there, I got just the tiniest amount of paint out. Let me just zoom in on that paint. And as you can see, it's a nice consistency straight out of the bottle. I'm going to try the rest of the colours in the range now guys, and I'll say them out one at a time. So here we've got Victorian Gold, might need to give that one a bit more of a shake to be honest, so I'll do that now. This is where the agitator really comes in handy, because without it you'll be shaking the bottle a lot longer to make sure that the paints are thoroughly mixed. But with the agitator in the bottle, it's a nice addition because it's going to help mix that paint thoroughly quicker. That's better. And that's like a greeny goldy colour the Victorian Gold is. I'm going to try Imperial Gold. And that's a nice gold colour. I think another cool thing about this range guys is because there's so many different colours in the range that true metallic metal paint jobs will be definitely possible with there being so many different paints in the range. I hope my voice is not shaking up too much while I shake these dropper bottles guys. Right, this is brass. So that's brass. We've got steel. And that's a nice colour. I really like the steel. And we've got old silver. It looks like a similar colour to Games Workshop's Bulk Gun Metal, so I can see me using this one quite a lot to be honest. Got fine gold. classic gold. Royal gold. That's a nice gold colour, guys. I really like that one. Graphite. And the last colour that I've got from the range is bronze. Okay guys, so that's what they look like on the palette. Now I'm just going to thin them down with a little water to see how they thin with regular water. Okay, so I'm just going to place a drop of water onto the palette there. We'll just thin, which I believe was royal gold, if I can remember rightly. And it seems to thin really well. Thin it a little more. That's excellent. Hopefully the camera's picking that up nicely, guys. What I'm going to do now is come back and we're just going to do some hand painting on some prime sprue, and we'll see how the metals go down on the prime sprue. Okay, so let's test one of the Darkstar molten metal paints on some orc arms, as there would be. I'll just give the paint a good shake, make sure it's thoroughly mixed. And we're going to be using classic gold. I'll just put a drop on the palette there. Now I'm going to place some of this paint on undiluted. Just make sure that the camera's picking the details up there correctly. And we can see how well that goes down. So it goes down nice and thin, and it covers the black quite well indeed. I'll put it on some of the flat area here. It's going to take 2 coats, I would say, to get a really nice smooth even coverage. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint most of the orc arm with this gold here with one pass, and we'll come back and we'll give it another pass and we'll see how smooth the finish of the gold is. Right, back in a minute guys when this is dried, and we'll give it one more coat. Okay guys, I'm just going to give it one more coat. As you can see, I've not diluted the paint here, but I wanted to see whether it would clog up the details undiluted, but this is quite a thin paint as it is, much thinner than Games Workshop metallics. And as we can see, it's pretty much a solid colour on the second pass. And that is a really nice gold, guys. This is a classic gold again that we was using a moment ago. what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this dry. We'll come back and we'll move it about a bit. Or we can do that now actually. Don't know how well my camera's picking this up, but the gold is really shiny. It looks really nice, guys. That's a really nice gold, guys. Right, I'm going to try another paint from the series with a brush. Let's try, I don't know, say graphite. We'll try graphite next, guys. Again, giving it a nice good shake. Just get that into view. Sorry for the shaky camera, guys. Okay, now so painting with some of the graphite. That's a nice metallic colour there, guys. Again, goes down super smooth, undiluted, not clogging up any of those details because it's a fairly thin paint as it is. I'll let that dry, we'll give it one more pass and we'll see what it looks like. I've gave the graphite one more coat of paint, so it's got 2 coats of paints now, just like the gold that we did a moment ago before. And as you can see, that looks absolutely fantastic. Oh yeah, I really like that graphite colour. Very nice. Right, what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to take it over to the spray booth and we're going to try airbrushing these paints by thinning them down a little bit with some Vallejo airbrush thinner, and we'll see how they spray out the airbrush. Okay guys, I've placed some royal gold into the airbrush cup, and as you can see I've thinned it down. So I've thinned it down 2 to 1, so 2 parts thinner to 1 part paint, and I'm just going to spray now on this prepared primed ore catch. That sprays out really nice. Just going to let that dry a little and give it one more pass. Just let that dry and we'll give it one more pass and we'll see what it looks like. Okay guys, so I've given the orc glyph, or symbol if you like, another coat, so it's had 2 coats now, and as you can see that's really smooth, super smooth finish, and I really like it. So this was a royal gold colour, and as you can see, so we've still got the black on the back and the gold. I'm going to try a few more colours, so back in a second. Okay, so we're spraying old silver now, guys. Just get my camera to focus there. So this is old silver. Don't think I've thinned this one as good as the last one, guys. And we'll just let that dry. And here we have the old silver, guys. Again, looks really nice. This was done in 2 coats, but you could pretty much get away with 1 coat with this old silver over a black base through the airbrush. Now we're going to be spraying bronze. I'll let that dry and I'll come back and give it 1 more coat. And there we have it, guys, that's the bronze. And as you can see, just with 2 thin coats there, it obscures none of the lovely detail that you can see on those parts, but the finish is really nice. Okay guys, so we've hand painted some of the Darkstar molten metals and we've airbrushed some as well. And I've got to say that I'm really impressed with them. I actually preferred to hand paint with these paints as to opposed to airbrushing. But obviously if I'm painting a large area, say, I don't know, a big metal plate, I would airbrush them because you're going to get a nice smooth result. But for small fine details like you can see on these orc arms, they're painted absolutely superb. These were undiluted as well, and you can see that none of the exquisite detail is left. You can still see the notches on his cuffs on the arm there. So really impressed with these metallics, to be honest. There is one weak colour in the range that I've spotted so far out of all the 12 that I own, and it's the silver. It's not very silver. Now I've shook it quite a lot, and it comes out like a pearlescent type paint. And it just doesn't seem to cover that well. Now what I'm thinking is, if you actually painted it over another metallic colour, like this graphite, I believe it was, that we painted on the middle one. See, now that works so much better. So some of the colours are going to accompany other colours much better as a colour over the top. See, that works really well over the another metallic colour, and that does look silver now. Okay, so the range as a whole I think is absolutely fantastic. I will be using these a lot in my upcoming tutorials, as I think they're absolutely fantastic. As I mentioned again, sorry, at the start of the video, you can pick these up from airbrushes.com, so check the description box down below and you'll be able to find a direct link where you can pick up these Darkstar paints. So please let me know what you think of these paints in the comments field down below. Do you own these paints? Please, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on them. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.